The Pioneer Sideline is back after another great summer. Tonight we take a look and see how the soccer and volleyball teams are doing in this new school year. Then we have an interview with cross-country runner Connor Mulvaney. After that, we finish up with the case of the week as we discuss if the Pirates can make the playoff push. All that and more as we start the semester right on the Pioneer Sideline. Welcome to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Chris Hoffman. Now, as fall is in the air, it is time for sports. We're going to send it over and talk some women's soccer. We're going to send it over to our women's soccer analyst, Kyle Anthony.
Point Park women's soccer team lost their first game of the season to Rio Grande 1-0. The Pioneers started off slow, only managing one shot, while Rio Grande managed 4. In the second half, Point Park came back strong and had 7 shots and got 5 on the net. But the Rio Grande goalie was solid and stopped all of them. Mackenzie Pinto, Point Park's goalie, finished the game with 1 save. Courtney Young of Rio Grande managed to get the lone goal of the game in the 62nd minute. Allison Joyce, a forward, led the Pioneers in shots with 3 coming off the bench. The Pioneers dropped its second game of the season to Muskingum University by a score of 2-1. Muskingum started off the game in the 14th minute, but the Pioneers answered back in the 64th minute with a goal by Lisa Tokarski. The game did not stay tied for long because in the 75th minute, Muskingum took the lead for good to close out the game. The Pioneers got more shots on goal than Muskingum, winning that battle 11-6. The Pioneers were able to bounce back in their next game against West Liberty University at Highmark Stadium. The Pioneers won by a score of 2-1. To start off, West Liberty took the lead in the 61st minute, but in the 73rd minute, the Pioneers struck back with a goal by Lisa Tokarski. In the 87th minute, the Pioneers took the lead for good, with Kelsey Wilkins getting her first goal of the season, and the Pioneers had another game, but that one did not go as well. The Pioneers dropped the game 4-2 to Ohio Valley University. The Pioneers started the game down 2-0 after Ohio Valley got goals in the 41st and 53rd minute. The Pioneers cut the deficit to 1 after Kara Kowalski got her first goal of the season in the 59th minute. Ohio Valley came back to get back-to-back goals in the 65th and 74th minute to take the lead 4-1. The Pioneers had a late goal by Ula Kadoja in the 87th minute to make the final score 4-2.
Now we're going to take a look at this. You see the team come out there. They lose the first one there, a rough one, and their opener of the season to Rio Grande, but they come back and get a hard-fought win against Muskingum. How big is that for the momentum? They go down early, tie it up, and then win the game 2-1. How big is for this team coming off a very good season that they had last year?
In their first 2, but I mean, the big thing for them was really getting more opportunities and more shots on net that were quality. I mean, the first couple games they shot a lot straight into the goalie, so that didn't help them out. But once they got better chances, they did a lot better.
Now, Kyle, what is one way that they can get some of these better chances? You say they're shooting them right at the goal. How do they try to set it up so that you can get some of these mismatches on the defense, which would lead to better opportunities?
Well, they need to get more odd man breaks, more long passes, kind of taking some chances in front of the net, feeding a lot more because they have a real attacking style. I mean, Lisa Tokarski was one of the big scorers last year. She leads the team early with 2 goals, so I mean, just kind of keep feeding her the ball.
Now, Kyle, the team did win 2 in a row, but does that loss to Ohio Valley worry you a little bit? Does it kind of kill the momentum they were riding off of winning 2 in a row?
It kind of does worry me because that is the most goals they allowed all season. And they kind of came in bunches, but they did answer back at some points. But this team's kind of been a slow starting team this season, so that might concern me more than anything.
All right, thanks, Kyle. That was the women's soccer there. Now we're going to go into some men's soccer here. We're going to have Tim Hardy come in, the men's soccer team who has had a lot more of success over the last couple of seasons, making the NAI National Tournament last season. They're trying to rebound this season. Tim, what do you see out of the men's team this year for the soccer program?
Well, Chris, I had to say so far the Point Park men's soccer team record is with 1 win, no losses, and 1 tie. They're bringing back 8 seniors, but they have a very youthful team, having at least 11 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 3 freshmen. They went to Will and Justice, where they went into double overtime and ended up with a tie, so that shows good. The score also 1-1, with Dominica Canelo being the only one to score for Point Park, while Zach Borzakovi had 8 saves and 1 goal against him. Real Justice had Jeff Casilin was the only one that scored for them. The next game they played was their home opener, where they play at their new home stadium, the Highmark Stadium. They faced the Division II Ohio Valley, and Point Park was able to get the win big by 7 points. The official score was being 9-2. Dominic Canelo scoring 3 of the 9 goals for Point Park and also having 1 assist. Lucas Sylvia had a goal for himself and also giving out 2 assists as well. Derek Wynn had 4 saves and only allowed 2 goals against him. Ohio Valley had 2 goals, one by Alexander Eastman and also Matthew Fairstein. Point Park is looking real solid so far and looks really promising for this season. They found their guy so far in Dominic Canelo, who is the lead scorer for goals, really showing up and being the playmaker for Point Park. Point Park's men's soccer team next opponent will be Salem International, who they played today.
Now, Tim, you look there, you see the Pioneers home opener, great always to win it, but when you win it in blowout fashion, 9-2 over Ohio Valley, how much does that help this team? I mean, this is a new stadium for them. They haven't played in Highmark Stadium before, so really getting taking advantage of home field. How big is that for them to come out and just blow Ohio Valley right out of the water?
I find it really big, Chris. You know, being able to blow out them so far, home opener, it's always good to win at home, and it just shows that they have great chemistry at home. They just got to make sure they find a way to get a win on the road as well.
Now, you mentioned Dominique Canella there. Great acquisition there for so far this season. 4 goals in those 2 games. He had a hat trick against Ohio Valley. Do you really see him being one of the leading scorers on this team moving forward? Do you really think he can help carry this team in the offense department?
Well, so far, Chris, I had to say, you know, the transfers from Slippery Rock, Dominique Canella, has really shown up so far. So I'm a bit surprised, but I'm pretty sure he could be the first one to step up. They also have a lot of other players like Frazier, McKinley, and they just show like other people as well. They got good chemistry coming back. So I feel like he can lead the team so far, but it's just the first couple of games, so I'm pretty sure someone else will probably step up as well.
Now, this Point Park team, they tied Wheeling Jesuit 1-1 in double overtime, but then they won 9-2 over Ohio Valley there. Does it almost kind of worry you just to touch the inconsistency in offense? I mean, that's an 8-goal difference there, Tim.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying, I have to say. Maybe some games, it was the first game overall for the season. So I wasn't that worried, but I'm saying the second game they showed good, but we'll have to see how the season goes.
Well, Tim, that was great stuff there. Great stuff from you and Kyle Anthony. That was our soccer coverage. Don't go anywhere. After the break, Zach Aaron will have volleyball coverage. We'll be right back after this on the Pioneer Sideline.